Hi YouTube, how are you doing? I'm doing okay. What a beautiful day here we have. It was earlier 40 degrees out and it's still January. That's remarkable. Pretty nice being that it's a La Nino year, not a La Nina or a El Nino, which would be warmer. It's kind of unusual to have this break in the weather. It's kind of typical if you're out in Montana, you get what is called, let me see, that's the, um, I think it's the sequoia winds. There's a term for it. When I lived out there, I had learned it. Just a minute here. I had to put my coffee down on the ground to get better lighting right now. So um, it was a little, I don't know. Either way, right now is a little awkward. I have to see what direction I think I want to sit in. So, either way, cheers, everybody. What is that called when they have a Chinook? That's what it's called, a Chinook winds that come from the northwest, usually the jet stream in the middle of winter. I've even seen like 70 degrees go back down to like 30 below within a couple days out in Montana. So it's not uncommon in the middle of the winter that can happen. But Minnesota, no, that's not, it's not typical for us to get this warm. I mean, it's not unheard of, it's just not typical. So I was watching a high frequency tribe yesterday. I'll tell you about it in a minute or a second here. Hamish was talking about an odd feeling that he has in the atmosphere, maybe not just political or whatever. Something's going on that he senses that is odd. I get that quite often. I think it has a lot to do with you can feel the vibe of how other people are feeling, maybe stressed or uneasy. And if there's large groups of people feeling like that at the same time, you might be susceptible or sensitive, either or, to those feelings that the um, world as a whole is putting off. And then you might get that um, kind of like as an alert for yourself personally, a stronger feeling if something is kind of coming down in your personal life. Like if you feel uneasy, you just get this weird uneasy feeling. And if it's super, super strong, it could be on a personal level, is what I'm saying, what I've noticed. So, but yes, I do have an uneasiness, but it's nothing unusual or different than any, like if it's political, like any administration that's ever been in there. Um, they're always pushing closer to their agendas with every step, no matter which party is in control at that time. So, it's just the same difference as like in Britain. My British friends know you have like your parliament and they're going to go in there like our Congress and talk about um their economy and laws that they might want to um tweak here and there, or taxes or whatever, different things that they'll discuss within your government. Um, kind of two sides of the spectator type situation. One appears to be for the people and the other is for the crown. It's like if we go in our political system and you're going up against the state, that's your personalized, that's your person, that's the public going up against the state would be the same as defying the crown, you know? So, anyway. Or like if you have a court case like for a criminal, the county attorney here, which is just one attorney in a state, in a county of our state, um, one of the states. So that county attorney would be in charge of prosecuting the criminal, you know, kind of individual, that person against the state, you know. I don't know where I was going with that, just thinking in political terms that, yeah, there's something up. It's just the same as having a monarchy. You might as well, because there is no difference in the operation of the whole thing. It's still government control over the people, you know, no matter what you call it. So, but although I have an uneasy feeling, I'm like super optimistic and happy that this is going to be a really good week. I don't know um, for everybody, but personally, I feel like it's going to be a phenomenal week. So I don't know. I wish everybody a good week ahead. So I think I might have said that, but I was thinking about people that are feeling this collective stressful energy that the world is really good at producing, you know. It's like I had saw, but I didn't watch the title of a video of Professor Sam Backman talking about like in a Joker world. Yeah, well, he's a narcissist out there making money off of his narcissism. So, um, although I've uh, can't say I've really learned a lot from him. He didn't teach me anything about narcissism I didn't know. It's only that he persists in saying that this is a mental illness when it's a decision of free will as an adult that ties his shoes just like I do, you know. So whether or not he's making excuses for his selfish cruelty on this planet, and if that's what they want to call a mental illness, it's a fucking lie, is what I'm saying. And that is my topic today, by the way. The mental health professionals. And yeah, I actually am a trained counselor. And I worked as a paraprofessional with mentally, emotionally disturbed kids, adolescents. Excuse me a sec. So, this, and neither here nor there. I have some other credentials in that area. It doesn't matter. Just from one human being to another, this is all bullshit. They're trying to make laws that make it acceptable for these monsters to be called mentally handicapped. Oh, yeah, they're insane, but it's a decision they make to act on that. Like I've said before, they can function, they can go like get their PhD and become a professor. So all the way through school, this person could function. Elementary school, middle school, university, the whole thing. And they didn't kill anybody or or do any harm to anybody. But then when they do, they have an illness to fall back on. It's called narcissism. It's one of the four dark tetrad personality traits that they just adopted sadism into. It used to be a tetrad, you know, with schizophrenia, psychopathy, narcissism, and now sadism in there. So, um, my point is, they're trying to normalize what we would consider a bully or what would consider evil and make it a mental illness that could be viewed in the courts as non-criminal because of its nature of being a health problem and not pointed out as the wickedness that it is with a person's free will. They're claiming they do not have control over this situation, and I'm claiming they do. So, if you know what a narcissist is like, if they get you alone, they're going to act a lot different than they're going to out in public because they would be arrested or somebody would accost them. You know, it's like a dude isn't going to sit there and mess around with another guy that's going to pulverize him, but he's going to take his old lady home and try and manipulate her into um, serving his needs, whether it's being a punching bag or verbal abuse or word salad bullshit, whatever their weapon of choice is at that time, you know. So it's not a mental illness; it's a fucking decision. You know that. I know that. Because they're not going to do what they do out in public. They might a little bit to see how far they're going to push something, even in a crowd. We've all seen that. Or if they're like a boss, where in a workplace, or a coworker, or somebody that you cannot get away from, and you're obligated at that moment to be in close proximity with these creatures. Yeah, you're not a Joker. That's not the Joker's story. The Joker was an orphan and had a lot of bad things happen to him, and uh, is a character in a comic, not an actual human being, you know? No, it's not a Joker's world. This is a real situation we're in to learn. If people don't want to learn how to have empathy and connect with other human beings on a human level instead of a commodity, like a narcissist is going to treat you like a commodity for whatever they want to do at that moment. And that's all people are to these. They view themselves as, if not godlike, totally God over you or I. I don't play that game. The oversoul that made this place is not here. So anybody pretending that they have that strength within themselves, especially if they're causing harm to people, that's not godlike. That is not what human beings were meant to um, function as normally. If mothers were narcissists, all of them, there would be no human beings. So it doesn't make sense in this constructed situation. So I'm not saying that I can ever change anything, especially within another human being. But I can talk to the other people that are going through similar situations and point it out to you that the monsters in the world are trying to normalize what is wicked and make it acceptable. And it's not. Whenever anybody does any kind of harm, you're not mentally ill. You're wicked. And it's your decision to be that. If you can't gather that much on how to treat a person, if you want something from another human being, like companionship or a job or even gasoline, you're not going to go in there and slap the clerk at the gas station and then say, turn the pump on. You know, you're not going to go up to a human being and tell them that they're a piece of shit and then tell them that you're proposing marriage. You know, things don't work like that. You have to be a liar, deceiving, manipulative piece of crud in the from the start in order to even operate like that in on this planet. And it's your free will. It's not a disease, you know. Don't play that with me. If people can go and get their college degrees, you know right from wrong. You know not to pee out in the hallway to go into the lavatory, right or wrong. Yeah, absolutely. Your emotional intelligence is not that lesser than a 3-year-old, like you claim. Some babies are potty trained early, others never are, I guess. And that's totally up to you whether you want to learn how to use your zipper the right way or not. Whatever, wherever your zipper needs to be, you know. I think I've made my point. That's probably good for today. Just wanted to say hello and wish everybody a happy week ahead. Don't buy into this. Narcissism is a mental illness. No, it isn't. It's inbred in many bloodlines and they nurture it as some kind of craft, but it's nasty and it comes out of nasty people, period. Because normal people actually care. We care about each other. So, um, enough to say, gee, when I do something stupid, I'm just going to tell you it's stupid and not do it again, not make excuses or a made up illness for something that's just pure ass wicked. So, all right, everybody, peace and love from Pine City, Minnesota, USA. Have a good night or day wherever you're at.